Hey everybody, gonna do a video of the shack here. So on the exterior, this is the door side, so this is the rear of the trailer. You're gonna see big wide door right here to go in. This is a steel exterior door. You've got the nice pull handle on it. Really nice handle, deadbolt. It locks, they're keyed the same. It's super nice. You've got two big windows right up front, as you can see. You've also got the floodlight up top, your door light, MDNR number. You've got some pull points that go through the frame if you need to use them. I originally was going to do this as a skid house, so that's what they were going to be used for. Super heavy duty, but you don't need to use them either. But that's the back side. You can see the blue light. It's RGB. It goes all the way around the house. You can change the color, do flashing, do whatever you want with that. On this side, you can see it's on a Miltona frame. You've got the fancier wheels on it. You've got the cranks on it. You've got posts here for your wide flags if you want to throw them over the wheels when you're driving down the road, since it is a bit over the 8.5 for the road. It's like 10.5. You've got the lights that light up, all LED exterior lights, floodlight on the side, window on the side. Here's the front of the trailer. This thing's just sitting on here. It actually stays on pretty well. You've got two 20-pound propane tanks. You've got your front winch. Really nice. This is brand new frame made just for this house. You've got your heater, venting there, your power in, just with an extension cord, so that you can do that. Nice window here, another floodlight out the front as well, and then you've got a vent. These are sealed up from the inside, but you can open them. Thought is, like in the summer, if you don't have anything in there, have it closed up and open the vent there. And then there was one on the other side. Big window on this side. This is the biggest window. Another floodlight, and of course the same as the other side. So we'll go inside now. All right, so as we open the door here, you can see really nice wide opening. Goes right in. It looks beautiful in here, so we'll go ahead and go in here. You've got the spring at the top of the door to make sure the door doesn't swing open when the wind takes it. One other thing I was going to show is these are the hinge security screws. The point in these are you can't just bust the door latch. If you were to try to bust the deadbolt open or the handle, which these have the security latches on them, you couldn't take the pins out of the door and just pull the door off. These, when the door shuts, you can see it goes inside of itself. The door is not going anywhere. You have those on each of the different hinges, plus security screws, obviously, as well. So looking at that same wall here, what you've got is the RGB lights across the top. Again, this is I think it's a 10-foot peak in the middle, from ceiling to floor. So super nice, extra height for this being an 8x10 shack. It's nice to have that extra height. It feels really spacious. The light just adds a really nice touch to it. Of course, the ceiling lights are up there. I've got a clock I'll throw in for you if you want. Those two side windows are nice. All knotty pine, tongue and groove walls and ceiling. What you're seeing for the baseboard in here, as well as around the door, this is PVC. This is not wood on the bottom. The reason is it's going to get probably wet in here with people with boots and whatnot. This you can just wipe off. You don't got to worry about it rotting or getting wet. So that's PVC white trim. As we go around on the floor, you're going to see catch cover holes here. There's a total of 8 in here. This is the one side. And then you'll see there are 4 directly in front of the jackknife sofa, and then 2 in front of that. The thought of these two, a couple different purposes. These two can be used for If you've got a fish camera, if you want to put your Vexilar or your Markham or your Garmin in a different hole, you can absolutely do that. So you're not jigging right next to it. That was the purpose in that, so very functional. Of course, you can put it in one of these holes as well. The 4 holes, a lot of people think that's overkill. I like the ability to, if you have 2 people on the couch, 3 people, 1 person, move around holes, you have options. Options are always good. The floor is fully insulated, of course, so you've got that going for you right up to the holes. You've got your catch cover holes. I'll pop one open so you can see. Goes right down. Really nice stainless steel screws. You've got 2x6 framing before you even get to the Miltona frame, which is really nice, super secure. So you've got those. You've got a corner hole here up front and a corner hole here up front. As you can see, you can put a rattle reel there. I've got a spot for a rattle reel here as well for the catch covers brand. These guys right here, these are the rattle reel snakes, I think they're called. They're real nice. You can have 4 of those. Of course, add more, do whatever you want to do with it. The other idea that I had when planning the floor was that I wanted to make sure I have a Garmin Panoptix Live Scope, and I wanted the holes to be in an area where multiple people could fish and benefit from the live scope, right? So the nice thing with the holes being in a line, I could actually put my Panoptix here or in any of those holes, and we could actually all use the same screen and see off of it. So that's another real good benefit. The other thing too that you can do, which is why I have the holes designed this way, the hole covers, I'm sorry, is you can actually put a chair here. It fits a chair really nicely right over that hole or a little bit in front of it. And you can be sitting here jigging this hole. So you can think about it. You could have 3 people on the couch if you wanted, each jigging your own hole. You could then have somebody sitting here in the corner jigging this hole. And the same over here, a person in this corner jigging this hole. So you could have up to 5 people. Granted, it's probably going to get a little cramped, but it is possible. Everybody's warm. Or if you have little kids, that's a great way to do it. The other thing, if you don't want to be all kind of fishing in the same area, have a couple people, 3 people on the couch, you can actually throw a chair here, not covering these holes, but a chair right here, and I could sit here and jig this hole. You can do the same over there. So there's tons of options. You could be sitting here on the jackknife sofa, jigging your holes, and you could have your rattle reel up there, or a dead stick, or a live minnow, or whatever you want to do. So tons of options. I put a lot of thought into the way that I wanted to design this. Again, reason why I'm selling it, I need a toy hauler. I can't pull 2 trailers with my truck in Minnesota. I know some states you can, not here. So I bought a new ATV this year. This unfortunately isn't going to work out for that because I need to put the ATV inside of the house. So my loss is somebody else's gain. I built this thing to last, as you can tell. So we'll keep going here. So that is this wall. Of course, the big windows. You've got the curtains. I'll go ahead and shut one so that you can kind of see. Of course, the curtains, I didn't do anything fancy. Some of them are a little better than others, but you can tell if it was dark in here and dark outside, you couldn't see through it, but you can replace the curtains too. But they're nice neutral gray color. Curtains all the way around on each of the walls, on each of the windows, I'm sorry. All right, moving on to this wall. We've got the 2 catch cover rattlesnakes that I've talked about. You've got an outlet right there on the wall. And then here, what you've got is a little place you can rest your phone. If you've got somebody sitting up here, you could throw a GoPro, throw a little camera, do whatever you want here. You've got your 12 volt right there, so your cigarette lighter port, in case you're charging anything that way. You can also get adapters to do that right to like a red and a black under your 12 volts, so you can actually wire directly into your fish finder or whatever you have that runs off 12 volt. And then of course, I've got the QC 3.0. These are the high output, if it can focus here, high output USB ports. So you've got those there as well. Every place that I show has these. I tried to put a lot of thought and time and effort into making sure wherever you are, if you've got a phone, I know electronics are important nowadays for a lot of people, you've got a place you can plug it in, charge it, and not run out of juice. Or if you're like me, getting into the video stuff, places to plug things in so you don't gotta have portable batteries everywhere. Above that, you've got a rod rack. These are the Catch Cover brand as well. These are mounted right here on the wall, so it's super nice. If you've got a few extra rods, you want to have a rod case necessarily in here, or opening it up, taking up floor space. There's 6 holes in each. There's 2 side by side. You can fit a total of, this can tuck in there. You could tuck the curtain up or do whatever you want with it. But you've got spot for 12 rods that you can throw in there. And I measured it to make sure that you could clear over a 36-inch rod. I think you can actually clear a 48-inch rod sitting in there before they even hit the ceiling. So that's super nice. Again, another benefit to the high ceilings. Of course, you've got a carbon monoxide detector. I'll keep that included in the house, of course. This is just a portable one that runs off of batteries. I'm not going to take it off right now, but that is there. Extra safe, I guess, in case something happened and you wanted to use a buddy heater in here. If something hopefully never happens to the heater, but if you were stranded, that's always a safety thing. If you're hooked up to next to a truck or something, it's here for safety. Probably overkill, like most things I do. Suburban furnace. I've got a little dash here where I found to put it. It gets it to about 58-ish in here. That's my comfort level when I've got like a hoodie on and something like that, but you can obviously change it to whatever you want. I've got it off for the video, but this thing is awesome. Haven't had any issues with it. Of course, everything's brand new. I didn't buy used anything. The only things that were used that went into this house, these 2 front windows, you can tell there's a little patch on the screen there. The 2 front windows I did buy off of somebody used. Everything else in here, if I remember right, is all brand new. Like everything. So you're getting a good deal here. I've got these racks here. Just a little bit of hand sanitizer. I guess that's important this year. Racks. You can put gloves in here. Everybody knows what to do with the rack. I put these up here for a couple of reasons. One, it's nice to put like your gloves in if you have socks that are a little bit damp that you want to dry out. If you have a bag of chips that you want to throw there right above maybe where you're sitting, you can throw chips, throw your phone, electronic, whatever you want, you can throw in there, which is kind of nice. Again, you've got this nice side window here. Below that, this is magnetic, so if you have your little pliers or a knife or scissors or anything you want, these can go right there. Of course, catch cover thing we talked about. On the back, what you've got is the jackknife sofa. This thing is awesome. I've got to measure it, but this is the extra long one. This is inside of the house is almost 8 feet wide. You've just got like 4 inches on each side taken up by the wall framing. And then of course you've got that little ledge so you can set stuff down. This thing I think is like 72 or 78 inches wide. So 3 full cushions, really nice. These are hard to come by and most shacks aren't wide enough to accommodate. So this is really, really nice. I'll put in the description for the house the exact dimension width-wise of it so you can kind of get an idea for it. Each side, again, those same plugs. You've got USB charger, 12 volt on each side, so whoever's sitting there can plug in. I already talked about, you've got the nice place to set your beverage or your remote or whatever you got there, your phone on both sides as well. Jackknife sofa, I'll show you here. This is what it looks like. It's really easy. One-handed lift. You can pull it out. That thing flops down to a really nice bed. As you can tell here, everything's closed off. It's perfectly spaced out so it butts right up against to the wall. Really, really, really nice to lay on. It's super comfortable as well. So you can have a bed right there on the bottom. I also thought really hard about positioning of the holes. So you can tell, even if you wanted to leave this out and you had like a furry friend with you, a dog or whatever, can actually lay back there. You could leave it set up as a bed all day with blankets, pillows, and all that whatnot. And you can actually still fish these holes. You could move out to these front two. These are all obviously still accessible as well. It's really comfortable sitting on the couch when it's in as well. Jigging the holes, it's not right up next to it, which I know a lot of ice houses have that, unfortunately. But here's your jackknife sofa. Underneath the jackknife sofa, I'll show you here just a little bit. This is kind of hard to do with one hand, but underneath you've got the heater over here, tons of storage space, electrical stuff. I'll put electrical at the end of the video. I'll walk through how that's all spaced out and how you can connect either via, you run this whole thing off a battery, including the outlets. You could go off solar if you want. It's not set up for solar right now, but you could easily tap into it. Run off a generator, shore power, anything you want to do. There's the ducts for the heater. These are directional, like a lot of campers have. So these you can turn and do what you want with, direct the airflow. This is just a vent to make sure it gets a little ventilation back there. You also have, when it's in the seated position, plenty of airflow that can sneak down back behind as well. So that's this back wall. Again, you've got the baskets. I put a nice shelf back there. You've got another basket on this side as well. This is the big window. You can see this window that's directly behind it and this window here are a little bit smaller. The reason why I did that was I wanted to try to save as much wall space as I could for things like the rod rack and other things on the wall. But then I wanted to have a nice big one as well. This one's a little bit higher up, so if you ever wanted to put like a folding table right out here that can fold against the wall, you can do that over here if you'd like. These lights under here, these are the really nice ones where they've got the little button in the middle. So depending on if it's nighttime, you have all the other lights off and you're laying down there, you can put one on, put two on, put none on. Whatever you want to do, just push the button and it pops on and off. That's really nice. While I'm here, there's a remote for the TV. There's actually two. I'll have to grab the other one. Here's the remote for the lights on the inside. You can see I'm sitting here on the couch, plenty of space to jig. I'm like reaching my arm out. So you can do whatever you want with these lights. There's tons of different options. So I could go to, I'm trying to do both in the same screen. I could go to green, blue, red, yellow. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can change the brightness here with this button. What's great about this, it's one remote. You can control inside and outside. You can kind of see right up here at the top. That's where it's hitting. All you have to do is switch the inside or outside lights on or off. It's only going to change whichever ones are on. So you could have blue inside, red outside, or whatever you want to do. There's also things like jump, I think. Yeah, so this is one where it'll jump between colors. You can speed it up if you want to have it jump quicker. I'm clicking the quicker button, I think. Yes. So it can jump between colors. Here's another one. You could have it flash if you want. You could have it fade in between the different colors. Tons that you can do. So kind of a cool accent lighting at night. It looks really cool inside, outside to identify your house when people are coming out to you. Tons of really cool things you can do with that. Moving on to the next wall that we have here. The big window, of course. One of the things I forgot to say about the windows is they're set up so that if I'm sitting here, I can see out the front, see who's approaching the door. I can easily see out this side window without looking up or down, and I can see straight out the back as well. So everything is within visible height for you to see while sitting down, which is also really nice. So back to this wall, a couple baskets as well. You've got the same thing with the rattle reel, the catch cover holders here on the wall. Magnetic tool holder on this wall as well. Another outlet. This is the same as the other side where you can actually charge your phone and everything. Same thing there. The big feature on this wall is two TVs. Yes, two LED high definition TVs. The reason why I did this, again, I have a live scope unit with an HDMI out. I have a fish camera. can hook up an antenna to a TV, watch a DVD, tons of options. The reason why I primarily did this is I wanted to have my live scope unit hooked up to one TV, so that could be on. And if I have my nephew here, or anybody else, or the game's on or something, or we want to watch a movie, can throw that on one screen. Could have the fish camera on the other screen, tons of options. So these are here. Take them down if you don't want them. Put them in your house, I don't care. They're on full articulating motion mounts. I just wanted to show you, this one's strapped. They come with the straps so that when you're going down the road, they're gonna be secure as well. You can hook up, you know, you could cast to these TVs, you can do a lot of different things. Below the TVs, as you can see here, are all of your switches. So yes, I've wired everything separately, gave you a little control panel here so you can do whatever you want. Ceiling lights, obviously on and off. It looks pretty cool with it off with the light up top. I'm going to hit the, turn it back on. So that's it bright, right? There's 4 ceiling lights. I've got a little fan up there as well. It's super nice. There's a dimmer switch for the ceiling lights as well. So you can dim them, make them super bright, do whatever you want. That's right next to the ceiling lights. I've got everything just handwritten, labeled. I haven't gotten much further than that. Again, this thing I just got done building. More things I wanted to do to it, but since I'm going the toy hauler route, I've stopped here. But everything's functional. Floodlights. So right back, you saw outside the floodlights. You can turn everyone on individually. Here's the right side. This is when you're looking, when you step into the house. The right side, the back, you've got the front and the left here. You've got the fan. The fan is really nice and quiet. Again, everything I wired 12 volt, other than the TVs and the outlets, of course, which, hint, hint, watch the end of the video, are actually able to be powered off of 12 volt. So you've got the ceiling fan up there. That thing circulates air perfectly, keep the heat down. The floor in here dries super fast, just in the winter working on it. If I step in, a little bit of wet on my boots or whatever, it dries out super fast with that fan on, even without the fan, because of the way the heat is designed. The color lights, you can turn those on and off. I've got them on right now. And that's your switches. The next thing I'm going to show you, bunk, and this will probably be the last thing. You've got the bunk up top. I was going to do this where you could actually push it up, but once I realized like how little space it was going to move up, I just did a permanent structure. That way you could have the lights and everything else. So this is the bunk. It's the full width. So you can see right now, this is a brand spanking new mattress I just pulled out of my house. It was delivered probably a month ago, and it's been wrapped inside my house. I just pulled it out here to get it into this video. This is brand new, never been slept on, never been laid on, nothing. It's a twin XL mattress, so it's the extra wide, extra long size. It's very, very nice. Each side right now, I've got space just so that it's centered for the video, but you could slide it to one side or the other and have a place for a duffel bag or whatever you want to do, storage up there. I intended on potentially my nephew using it. So I put this little railing up. You can see you can just unbolt it if you don't want it up there or you want to do something different. But the railing's up there for a little bit of security. This is really nice so that there's actually plenty of space. If you're in the center, you can actually sit straight up in there and not hit your head. I'm 5'11", works great for me. It's got a pillow top mattress on it. I'll kind of point up so you can kind of see. One of the other things that's really nice is if you look right there, I've also got, that's a USB charger for your phone. So you can charge your phone, you can set your phone on top of that at night, so you're good to go. Really, really nice. Ceiling we already went over. And that's it. If you have questions, anything else that I did not go through in the video, I'll do the electrical stuff next. If there's something else that you want to see, if you have questions, I have pictures of pretty much every part of this build. Just shoot me a note and we can figure it out. I put a lot of time and effort into this thing. I hope somebody's going to enjoy it as much as I know that I would. I'm really excited to show this thing off and get this in somebody else's hands so they can get it out on the ice this year. One other thing I didn't go through, fully insulated walls, ceiling, floor. This thing heats super duper fast. It's really, really nice. 2,500 pounds is how much this thing weighs. Of course, all the gear that you put in here will weigh it down as well. It's got a permanent trailer license. You never have to worry about tabs. You never have to worry about a license plate or anything like that. Everything's brand new, like I said, other than these front 2 windows, I think is the only thing in here. So yeah, don't want to make this too long. Thanks, guys. I could talk forever about this. Shoot me a note if you have a question or if you want to come see it. It's just sitting in my driveway here in Anoka, Minnesota. Let me know. Looking to move this thing out of the driveway so that the wife stays happy with me. Thanks. All right, so for house power, I want to show you how this is wired up so that you can see how it's very flexible and how you want to do it. Right now, I've got it hooked up to shore power. It's just an extension cord coming from my garage, plugged straight in. In the back, which you probably saw from the outside video, there is a plug-in on the back side of the shack. It's actually the front, if you're looking at it the way that you tow it. It's hooked up to this cord here. So this cord, this is the shore power cord. This right here is the inside AC. So all outlets, the TVs, if you have them plugged into the outlets, are ran off of this cord. The reason why I have it set up this way is it gives you flexibility for how you want to power those outlets. Obviously right now when I'm plugged into shore power, this would work the exact same way as if you had a generator going. You just throw an extension cord into that outlet outside, be able to run all the power inside of the house, all your electrical outlets, the TVs and everything. Now, since I wired nearly everything to 12 volt for efficiency when running off of a battery, or if you wanted to hook solar up, which is one of the things I was thinking of doing to this, but I don't have it wired up that way right now, be easy to add in, is I've got a converter box here. This converter takes from AC power to DC power, so it'll go to the 12 volt power. So everything is currently hooked up just off the one extension cord outside and running everything inside of the house. So if you wanted to run off of a battery instead of running off of shore power or a generator, that's very easy to do. You could just throw your battery down in here, strap it in or however you want to. You can either add pigtails in, or if you want to, all you'd have to do is on the back of the converter, these 2 wires right here, this red and this black, just come off. I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can get you a better angle here. There's screws there. So all you would have to do, unscrew those, throw them right onto the positive and the negative of a battery, and you're golden, you're good to go. If you wanted to, you could actually go right into the battery, go back into there if you wanted, hook a charger up to the battery. I've got an outlet right inside of here that you can plug a charger into. That way, if you switch over from 12 volt to power to shore power, you can do that as well. Everything is fused in here. So you've got just your regular fuses in here with a light in case something blows, so you can easily identify what fuse blew. Everything's grounded. I ran individual wires to every single fixture or anything in here in case you have any lighting issues. It's not going to throw the whole system out. Any wiring issues, you're going to be able to very easily identify what that is. So that's the power. If you wanted to run your TV and your electrical outlets and all you had was a 12 volt battery sitting in here, like a car battery or anything like that, you can absolutely do that. This beast right here is a 2,000 watt inverter. I'm throwing this in with the house so that you can use it if you want, otherwise sell it, do whatever you want with it, but I intended on using it in the house, so I'll include it in here as well. Very easy to use. Say you've got your 12 volt battery here hooked up to that red and black. All your 12 volt, everything other than your outlets are going to work. If you want your outlets to work, so you have a coffee maker, This thing can actually run a microwave as well. If you wanted to, all you have to do, red and black, screw right into the back of that, hook them up to your battery. On the other side of this, you've got outlets. All you have to do is take, again, your house power cord, plug it directly in there, and you're golden. Everything's running off of your battery. There's fancier ways to do it if you want to get a switchover switch that you could add to the front out here, like on the baseboard, or if you wanted to add it on the wall, you could as well. So that way you can easily switch over from AC to DC to however you want to do it. But that's the wiring. You can see I've got it set up so that you can do it nearly any way that you want, all easily accessible right down here. Everything's fused, you're good to go.